Graders, today we're doing the introduction to chapter 11 and we're doing lesson 11.1. If you didn't do all your three-dimensional shapes yesterday, go ahead and get one more done today because we're kind of doing like a lesson and a half. You may not want to try to finish all of them today, but try to get at least one more done. For today, you need your book and a pencil and eraser to do this work. All right, the beginning of chapter 11 on three-dimensional geometry. Now, we've talked about this a little bit before. Something two-dimensional has up and down and side to side. This is one dimension, this is another dimension. When you look here at this little package that I have, you can see it has that dimension and that dimension, but this is a three-dimensional object. It's a geometric solid. It takes up space. Can you see here? It also goes this way. So three-dimensional geometry is geometry, studying shapes that are not flat shapes. All right. So when you look at the sandcastle, you can see a lot of three-dimensional shapes, right? This would be a cone. Here you have a cylinder. Here you have a rectangular prism. Here you kind of have some other little rectangular prisms making things up. Here's a cylinder over here. We have a lot of three-dimensional shapes in this sandcastle. On this side, circle the objects that are alike. I think you can handle that. Circle the objects that are alike. I think you can probably handle that. Identify three-dimensional shapes. Color the, now this is not a circle. This, do you see how there's light shining on it, kind of like here? That's to show you this is not a two-dimensional flat circle. This is a three-dimensional sphere is the word for it. So color the sphere blue, color the cube, oh, that's a cylinder. Color the cylinder red. Which one of these is the cylinder? Color it red. Color the cube yellow. Mark an X on the object that does not belong. That's not too hard to do, is it? All right, next page. Now we're working with our vocabulary builder. So we want to write review words to name the shapes. Even though sphere is also already here, go ahead and trace it. We want to get this stuck in our head. And it has a couple of things we've been studying in phonics. First of all, do you see here, PH, that tells us this is actually a Greek word. And in Greek, they do have a consonant blend that sounds like this, sv. We don't have that in English. But we have it in sphere because it's a Greek word. And then do you see here vowel, consonant, silent T? Sv, ear, sphere. This one you can look up here, cone, cube, cylinder, sphere. I bet you know which one that is. And we talked about cube. And here you see the one that's circle on the end. So that makes it a cylinder. One thing that might help remember that is, do you remember circle has that C making it soft S sound, just like cylinder does. All right, so color the sphere blue, color the cube yellow, color the cylinder green. And here, do you see these dotted lines? The dotted lines are supposed to be kind of like the things behind, that if this were clear glass, that you'd be looking and seeing them back behind there. So this is trying to show you that if it were clear glass, you would see this curve here, but you'd also see it curve around the back. And a cylinder, you'd see the whole curve on the top, but you'd also see it curve around the back. Last page of the introduction is this shape game, which if you want to play with some of your family members, you may, but you don't have to. All right, three-dimensional shapes. Now, this is lesson 11.1, draw to sort the three-dimensional shapes. What you're going to do here is choose a sorting method and circle it. So take a look, we have several things that are different. We have colors that are different, right? We have blue and we have this reddish color. Then we have sizes that are different, right? We have large and we have small. Here we also have large and small. Or we have different three-dimensional shapes. We have spheres, not circles, but spheres. And we have cubes. So you can choose if you're going to circle all the spheres, all the blue, all the small. How are you going to sort these? It's up to you. Right here, a reminder, sphere, cone, cylinder, rectangular prism, and remember a cube is a certain type of rectangular prism where all 6 sides of the cube are squares. So take a look back at these, and this is where it's going to be really helpful if you've already made your models that you cut out and taped. Sort the shapes into 3 groups, draw and name the shapes. Only flat surfaces, so take a look. Does a sphere have any curved surfaces or only flat ones? Does a cone have any curved surfaces or only flat ones? How about a cylinder? Rectangular, prism, or cube? I'll give you a clue. You want to have 2 things drawn in here. And go ahead and try to copy these drawings. It might be a little bit tricky, but go ahead and try it. And then you're also going to write it. So I'm going to tell you rectangular prism is one of the things that goes in here. And I want to actually see you write out rectangular prism. Only a curved surface, so take a look. This is just straight lines. Take a look at this one. Does it have any straight lines or only curves? Cone, any straight lines or only curves? Sphere, down here, you're only going to put 1 drawing, 1 type of 3-dimensional shape. Down here, both flat and curved surfaces. Well, there are 5 shapes altogether we're looking at. Here are 2, here's 1 more. That makes 3. So we've got 5 altogether and 3 are already used. That tells you 2 of them are going to be right here. All right, next page. So you can do a search for some of these around your house. They have some pictures down here to see. A rectangular prism has 6 flat surfaces. How many does a cube have? How many does a cylinder have? And how many does a cone have? So look at those carefully around your house. And down here, you can see you're writing sphere here. What kind of shape is this? Write that name. What kind of shape is this? Write that name. Here also, now, boys and girls, it says exercises 4 to 7 can help you write the shape names. See right here. But exercises 8 to 12 can help you answer this question. Because, for example, maybe you're trying to imagine a cylinder in your mind and you're having a little trouble figuring out how many flat surfaces it has. Well, look right here. You guys probably knew this can is an example of a cylinder. So if you're having trouble figuring out how many flat surfaces it has, go ahead and find one in your house. You probably have one in your house. And take a look at it, figure out how many flat surfaces it has, and write that down there. All right, guys, over here, here are clues. Circle the ones that go with it. Josh drew an object that has only flat surfaces, so only one of these works. Kelly drew objects that have both flat and curved surfaces. So I'm going to give you guys a clue. You're going to need to circle 2 items right there. Sandy drew some rectangular prisms. Here is a tricky one. Your book is planning that you only make 2. But boys and girls, here is a cube. And I told you a cube is a rectangular prism, isn't it? It's just a rectangular prism where all the sides are squares. So this is also a rectangular prism. So even though your book is planning to, the reason this is a hot problem is because really there are 3. Because a cube is a type of rectangular prism. Then test prep. Which shape has only flat surfaces? Go ahead and color in that circle. All right, boys and girls, not very hard today, but we had some extra pages to do. So make sure if you have not finished cutting out and taping together yet all of your 3-dimensional solids, make sure you do at least one more today if they're not all done. I will see you later. Bye-bye.